Tyne Valley Talk, the show where we talk about international, national and even local news. Joining me today we have David Bell.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Welcome, David.
Great to be here.
Now we know that you keep up to date with a lot of the news about the electrical businesses, and we know that Apple is one of your favourites.
Yeah,
so here we have some news on Apple first. We have the Apple profits have reached a record high at $18 billion within just 3 months. What do you think about that?
I think it's fantastic for a company who've just lost their CEO 4 years ago. They've bounced back incredibly. Some companies, when they're a big figure in the company dies, it can be at a detriment to the company. But I think they've bounced back well, and they've got a great marketing strategy, which is obviously working. They've had a few great products come out. And they're just a fantastic company. And I think a lot of people are saying, Apple don't pay their taxes, or Apple don't, they're too greedy, they're a capitalist, consumerist company, whatever. I think, go on Apple. They've obviously worked for this market share, and I think they've done a great job. And quite frankly, I love the products.
So brilliant for them, brilliant for us as well, because they play such an integral part.
They do.
Within devices and stuff, and
they do.
So
it's huge. It's humongous. In fact, I know for a fact Coca-Cola have the 76th biggest economy in the world. So, knowing Apple's net profit and the fact that they're the most wealthy company in the world, I'm sure their economy is massive.
Very good, of course. And of course, every business has their own method that they follow with, and so clearly they're doing very, very well. And we even have some incoming tweets about this already, so very popular, I see. And a little fact, it would take Tesco around 10 years to make that much profit.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I think Tesco, going back to the market strategy side of this, I don't think Tesco give off the right image. They've had a lot of negative reception recently, and it hasn't worked well.
Okay, and of course, following on next, some local news. The Ovington Bridge, it's been closed 6 months this week, and it is already 7 weeks behind schedule, of course, affecting local residents and local businesses.
Yeah, it is a pain. It's a massive issue. I, for one, live in Ovington, and getting to work, it's not easy. So it's had an effect on businesses as well, local businesses.
Do you think that it will be worth it in the end once they have a new bridge in its place?
I'm not sure, because I know for a fact that they've widened the metal structure only by 4 inches. So I'm not sure if that's a decent amount, if that's going to be enough.
Of course, they've done that, of course, because these 2 bits here, of course, they're so sort of special, and they're protected by the council, so they're not allowed to take those bits down. No. Meaning that, of course, they can't widen the bridge that much.
Well, yeah, the bridge was built in 1886, so it's actually a protected a piece or a design or whatever. So yeah, they can't expand these, which is a bit. It kind of doesn't make sense.
No, and I've heard this about the taxis too. That usually a fare from Ovington to Prudhoe would be about £3.50, but now, because of course they have to go all the way around, the meter is reading £12. Luckily, of course, though, taxi groups such as Aaron's Cabs, they've only been charging about £9. Of course, this is going to be having an effect on their business and also residents.
I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it, really. The first way is to think, well, they've got to pay for more fuel. But the other way is, it's, for me, if I was a taxi company, I'd think of it as a good money opportunity, good money making. To think, if I was to go from Ovington to Prudhoe, I don't know how much it would cost, £4, £5. But now we've got to go around, it's £9. Actually, I'd be milking that if I was the taxi companies. And obviously with fuel prices decreasing, it's cheaper for them, and I think it's a good time for them.
So they can, I guess, yes,
they can.
Of course. And there was talk of a new bridge or a flyover that would have been built near Wylam, joining up the A69 there. But of course, there are arguments that are saying that it wouldn't really be a very sensible idea. But moving on, more local news again. We've had a lot of snow recently, of course, but in January as well, you would have thought, but we don't really deal with this very well, especially in the northeast.
We don't. As a nation, we're very unprepared. But what's amazing is 40, 30 years ago, I mean, before that as well, we had some really intense winters, getting up to 3 feet of snow. So the intensity of these winters has dissipated over the years. And so we've kind of got into this mindset where every year we'll be okay, there won't be any snow, but when it does come to snow, we're unprepared, we don't have enough gritters. man the gritters. So
so we've got all these blocked roads and these closed schools, even if it's only 1 centimetre of snow, just a tiny amount.
It seems ridiculous, really.
It's a bit of an overreaction, really.
It is.
As well.
It is, but I mean.
So is this sort of because of laziness that we're doing this? We think, oh, it's snowing, I want a day off, I'm not going in anymore.
Well, yes, it might be. It might be just if let's not lie about it here. Let's not beat around the bush.
Everybody wants a day off.
Everyone wants a day off. But yeah, to some extent we do overreact. That's just the British culture.
British culture, of course, yes, and of course. Unfortunately for sports teams and local teams, that there have been a few cancelled matches around the place. And so keep your eyes open if you are playing or if you're spectating this weekend, that it might not be on. And national news, there was a trial in Glasgow recently with up to about 600 pregnant women, and they were all trying to stop smoking. Half of them were given £400 worth of shopping vouchers, and over 20% of them quit, whereas only 9 they quit without use of any vouchers at all.
Yeah, well, 9% of them quitting without any vouchers. You see, that seems to me quite low. I think I'm not a mother because I'm obviously a male. But if I was going to be a parent, I would be stopping smoking. I think knowing that you want to have a baby grow up healthy and be born, strong. I think you'd be quitting smoking. Thinking about the baby before yourself. But it takes a certain person to quit. It's not easy. Let's not lie about it.
And so it says a lot about our society as well, and the fact that these people they're giving up smoking, but only for this incentive of just having these shopping vouchers.
It does. But what did you say the total of numbers?
There were 600 women.
600. See, that's quite a small proportion. Scotland, was it?
Glasgow.
Scottish, so. It's
a bit of a downer on it as well. And so, but these women, they're putting these shopping vouchers before their own child.
Yeah, I think.
I assume so. If that they would rather. The only reason why they're giving up is because they want these vouchers, and only 9% of them quit because.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, but if I was offered the vouchers, I'd take them.
Yes. And last but definitely not least, it's quite funny news. This. Tesco had to recall lots of bottles of juice that smelt so bad they had lots of complaints from the customers, thousands of complaints even. And the blackcurrant and apple squash, which was brand new to the stores, including Hexham, which of course is our local store here, and they've all had to be refunded.
Well, to think they're a multi-billion-pound company and they're making a small mistake like that, it seems implausible. But mistakes happen. Life happens. It's quite funny, really.
And so, is this the difference between Tesco and Apple? And even though, of course, they deal in very different brands.
They do, but again, they're just rolling off a product to make money at the end of the day. And yes, I think it is. There's a certain quality about Apple that you don't get with Tesco. I mean, you walk into an Apple store, and immediately you're hit by this strong sense of design quality. It's a cathedral of. It's fantastic, really. You walk into a Tesco. I know it's a different environment. It's a different sort of product or something, but. You walk into, it's like the difference between Tesco and Waitrose. The Waitrose, they've just got the standard, but I guess it's all about target audience and finance. It's all down to a plethora of factors.
And so we've come full circle around back to Apple again.
We have.
Thank you for joining me today,
Excellent.
David, and so thank you for watching. This is us done.